Men, if your wife wants a divorce, it's not because of something that happened last week. It's because of something much deeper. Her brain has been trained to see you or the marriage as a problem. This is called confirmation bias. In college, I was taught as cognitive bias, which is basically the same thing. And until you break it, nothing you say or do is going to matter. In this video today, I'm going to show you why her brain is stuck in these negative loops and exactly how to biologically change those thought patterns so that she starts looking at you differently, maybe even with curiosity again. You just got to be coachable. If you don't already know who I am, I'm Griffin, and I help men stop divorce and restore their marriage even when their wives say they're done. If that's what you want, hit the subscribe button right now to turn on the notifications so you never miss any of the content that I'm putting out to help you save your marriage. So you never miss one of these videos, because the truth is, if you don't understand what I'm about to teach you, you could do everything right and still lose her. So what is confirmation bias, and why does it matter for your marriage? Confirmation bias is if your wife's brain is saying, "See, I was right about him," every time she believes something negative about you, like you're selfish, you're controlling, you're a narcissist, or you're emotionally unavailable, her brain looks for proof and ignores everything else. Have you ever been in a place where you feel like you're doing everything right for maybe even a month, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks, whatever, and you do one thing wrong and the divorce is back on like Donkey Kong? So let's say she has a thought like, "He doesn't listen to me." You could listen for an hour, but if you check your phone one time, boom, her brain goes, "See, he never listens to me." That one tiny moment becomes proof for the belief she already has. That's confirmation bias at work. Confirmation bias is psychological, but when confirmation bias has been at work long enough that it's become biological, meaning that we can actually see confirmation bias on an MRI or a CAT scan, your marriage will never, ever, ever, ever be restored until you understand what's necessary to dissolve confirmation bias, not only psychologically, but for the amount of time psychologically that it becomes a biological change for her. You might have made all of these changes, but guess what? Maybe you're actually in a program where they're teaching you leadership, you're no longer depressed, your biceps are getting bigger, you're feeling good about yourself again. Unfortunately, all the work that you're doing in that program, the no contact that you're trying, all this other stuff, it's not working to actually save the marriage. If that's where you're at, it's because you're dealing with confirmation bias, and the changes that you're actually making are causing her to resent your changes and you, which is further confirming the bias. It's making the marriage literally worse. So why talking about it doesn't fix it? Here's the part most men get wrong. You can't talk your way out of confirmation bias. Why? Because words don't override a biological change in her brain. Words do not and never will override biology. Neural pathways in her brain literally light up to reinforce the belief that she's already holding on to. That's why arguing, defending yourself, making promises, it doesn't change her mind. It literally hardens her stance. If this is making sense to you and you want a deeper dive into how to fix this, click the link in the description. I've got a free training that walks you through the exact process that we use in my program to flip this around. So how do you break her confirmation bias? So how do you change this? You don't break confirmation bias by talking more. You break it by creating new relationship experiences. New experiences that don't fit her old story about you. That's what starts rewriting the neural pathways in her brain. In my program, we do this in a 7-week process because that's about how long it takes to create new neural pathways in her mind. And here's the basic framework for that. Stop feeding the old confirmation bias up here. Stop defending yourself. Stop doing the things that confirm her negative beliefs. Interrupt the psychological pattern. Show up differently. Do things that are going to create curiosity. One of the things that I tell my students oftentimes is watch the movie with Jim Carrey called Yes Man. In that movie, Jim Carrey is challenged with all of these different life experiences that the old him said no to everything because he was doing his job, doing the normal thing, going to work, coming home, spending time with the kids, having dinner with the family. He was doing the normal routine. But what happened was one day life threw him a loop and he had an opportunity through a life transformation to start saying yes to every opportunity that came his way. This is one of the things that you can do to start the process of dissolving confirmation bias. So do things differently than what she expects, because creating curiosity, whenever you do something that's radically different, what happens, instead of her using that information to confirm the bias, where it's throwing her what we call a pattern interrupt, you're getting her to fire synapses in a different region of her brain. So I'll give you an example. Maybe you're somebody that you go swimming all the time and you've never wore a European bikini. In the United States, most men wear swimming trunks that are not like Speedos that kind of show your bulge. And I'm not really necessarily suggesting that you do this, but if you did something that radically different, you decided to wear a thong to the beach one day. And by the way, if you want your marriage restored, please don't wear a freaking thong to the beach. That's probably going to help you get a divorce. But the point that I'm making is doing things that are radically different that the old you has never done, that are going to make her curious, causes her to establish new thought patterns about you. When she's curious for a long amount of time, she's running neural pathways that are uncomfortable for her brain, but it's not allowing her to run the comfortable neural pathways over here of confirmation bias. So start doing things differently than what she expects. If you're not in the gym and you never have been in the gym, then get in the gym. If you've never went scuba diving, go scuba diving and document that on social media. Document the history on Facebook. If she expects you to beg, never beg again. If she expects you to blow up, stay calm. If you're that man that's always been calm your entire marriage, blow up. That shook her system and creates curiosity. Curiosity is level 1 of attraction. Lead with consistency. Your energy and your actions have to be strong, centered, and consistent. Your discipline in this area will determine your destiny. I call this the 3 Ds. Every area of your life that you want it to be radically different, the discipline in that area will always determine your destiny. That's what rebuilds trust at the biological level. Over time, consistency with new positive relationship histories and new histories in her mind of you creating curiosity. So many marriages, you'd be surprised the amount of students that I get in the Divorce Stoppers program, that the reason that their wife wants a divorce, that their marriage got in trouble, is their wife simply got bored with the routine of the same thing. He never created curiosity to keep the marriage interesting and fun. Make marriages fun again. Well, Denver, my marriage is ending. She said she's filed for divorce. She doesn't want it. Then start the process of ruining confirmation bias. But you've got to do it for the amount of time that it takes to actually dissolve it. Over time, her brain starts saying, wait a second, maybe I was wrong about him. This is the turning point. Inside the Divorce Stoppers program, our goal is for all of my paid students is the train that's heading to game over, to divorce, to the end of the relationship. The goal for 100% of my students is to take that train that's heading to game over and completely turn the train around in 7 days and completely dissolve confirmation bias in 7 weeks, okay? So proof that it works. Let me give you an example. One of my recent students that you've seen, so for this entire summer, I have not recorded any new training videos like this because I wanted to show you the results that my students are having. We had tons of students begging to share their experience and hoped that it would encourage other men to take the action steps necessary to save their marriages, just like my students' marriages are being saved. So for the past few months, right now you can go to my playlist on this YouTube channel and look at Denver Griffin testimonials or Denver Griffin reviews. I'm not sure how my video editor has that in there, but you see story after story after story after story, and it's the same consistent story. Every single student turned the train around in 7 days. You hear some of the students say, well, it didn't work for me in 7 days. I turned the train around in 10 days or 14 days. The reason for that is 80% of the students successfully turned the train around in 7 days with no additional help. 20% of our students need a coaching call to figure out what they didn't do that we're teaching in the first week, and they figure out how to maneuver that typically over the next few days, okay? But one of my clients recently that you saw a video was Michael. He came to me when his wife said she was done. She had him completely blocked. He followed the process, and within just a matter of a few short weeks, she reached out to him after having him blocked. Why did she do this? Because the new behavior didn't fit her old bias. He broke the pattern and the curiosity came back. Curiosity is level 1 of attraction. Let me ask you a question. So as I'm starting to do training videos again, I need your input. Right now, I want you to pause the video and go to the comment section or comment while you're listening to the video. And I want you to tell me, does your wife have confirmation bias? And if so, what things have you tried to save the marriage and what was the result? This will give me some content ideas. I respond to 100% of my comments. Put in the comments right now, where are you at in your relationship? Has she filed for divorce? Are you separated? Do you have a restraining order? What was the things that you did wrong in the marriage? The reasons that she's telling you, this is why I want out of the relationship. Put in the comments if you're in a place where you came home one day and the house was cleaned out and you have no freaking idea. What did I even do wrong? I'm not sure what's going on here. That's because you're too close to your situation to see your situation. Put what's going on in the comments. I'll respond to each comment, and most likely I will add this in my to-do list for my upcoming videos. Which reminds me, if you haven't already subscribed to this channel, not only do you need to do that right now, press the like button, subscribe, but the most important thing that I want you to do right now if you're trying to save your marriage is make sure and press that bell notification, because we're going to start putting out a lot of content coming up here in the near future, fast and furious, and I don't want you to miss one single video that can help you turn things around to save your marriage, because your legacy is literally on the line. So put in the comments right now what you're dealing with. I'll respond to each of those comments, and I'll most likely do a video on what you're dealing with. Something else, one of the things that I'm going to be doing again, I did this a while back, I'm going to be doing a live training on text message training on how to get your wife to respond to you in a way that starts a process of dissolving confirmation bias. I'm only doing that free training for my subscribers. If you're one of my subscribers and you're interested in that free upcoming training, put in the comments right now that you would like the free training, and I'll have my team reach out to you with a link for that upcoming training that I'm going to be doing in the next 2 weeks. So if you are serious about saving your marriage, I have put together a free training that shows you exactly how to do this. Click the link in the description right now. Also, my video editor is putting the link up on the page right now, along with the QR code, and start watching the training. Something that I'm going to be doing differently today, though. If you are absolutely confident that your wife has confirmation bias, my free masterclass is literally not going to help you. So right now I'm going to be doing something different that I've never done before. Right now my video editor is putting another link in the comments, and we're putting up a second QR code on the screen. This link, the second link and the second QR code, is going to give you the ability to bypass the masterclass, because if your wife has confirmation bias, YouTube is only going to give you information, and it's not going to give you the transformation fast enough that you need to turn things around before they get radically worse. So what do you need if that's you? You need a strategy session call with my team. If you are 100% certain that your wife has confirmation bias, I can tell you from experience, you're about to face a very expensive price. And if you have children with this woman, you are going to pay the price emotionally, spiritually, financially, and in the pit of your soul for the rest of your life. Every birthday, every Christmas, every Easter, every wedding, every birth of a new child, grandchild, children turn into grandchildren. Ask me how I know. Look how young I am. I have 7 grandchildren as of the date of this recording of this video. I have an ex-spouse. I went through a divorce. I don't want you to experience the same thing as me. And if you've already done that and you're facing it again, aren't you ready to stop paying the price of divorce? Divorce is literally the price that you pay emotionally and with your time and with your sanity. Divorce, when you have children, is a price that you will pay until the day that you die. It's the most expensive thing that you'll ever walk through, because you keep paying it till the day you die. Divorce is a price that you pay forever. Aren't you ready to book a strategy session call with me or my team and see if we can't come up with the strategy to help you invest in the future that you want in your time and your finances and your sanity? Aren't you ready to take ownership of your life? I can teach you inside the Divorce Stoppers program how to lead your wife back into the marriage that she deserves, the man that you always should have been, because not only will we radically transform who you are, how you think, what comes out of your mouth, and we start by changing your heart, We will show you how to change your wife in the process to lead her to the best version of herself. Have you ever heard, if you love her, let her go? Your friends and your family are telling you that, but that's because they've never seen a marriage restored, because marriage restoration, when a woman has confirmation bias and she wants out, is absolutely not normal. I want you to go through my client success stories and look at what one of my recent students' wife said that my program did for her, and I never met her until he did a client testimonial and she kind of hijacked the call. And I'm very thankful. I literally think that was a God thing, because it literally is showing my future students and anybody else that might be depressed and struggling, thinking that there's no reason to have hope in their marriage, because in this program, you can hear from one of my wives where she literally is saying, I saw him change, but it was crazy because his leadership literally changed me. And here's the thing, if you're in another program and you're making all these changes, but it's not saving the marriage, I promise you, you're dealing with confirmation bias. Your marriage will never be saved until you understand how to lead your wife lovingly to also change. Scan the QR code, go to the website right now, book a call with me or my team. It's called a strategy session. On that strategy session call, we'll tell you if we think you're a good fit for the program and go ahead and enroll you on the spot if it makes sense. Also, if you know that you're dealing with confirmation bias, the next video that's coming up at the end of this video, click on that and watch it now.